A lot of changes with the Pirates this year, and that includes the manager with Carlos Pena. I'm Fran Charles, and pleased to be spending a little time with Derek Shelton. Derek, congratulations on the new gig. How are things going here at your first camp as a manager?
It's going really well. Really exciting. The culture's been great. Our guys have been great. You know, it's been a sense of trying to empower them and take responsibility and creating a clubhouse culture that's really fun. And we've been very fortunate. Our guys, our staff, everybody's embraced it. So very happy with how we're trending.
Yeah, Shelly, you know, you've been through the process. I mean, you've been in the Rays organization. You were my hitting coach. I want to ask you how that prepared you actually to become the manager you are today. You're dealing with this knucklehead right here, but you really paid your dues. And this seems like you are primed for this type of job right now with this blank canvas here in Pittsburgh.
Well, I appreciate that. I think going off the first thing, you and I had a lot of good conversations. And I think when you have players that encourage conversations, it makes you a better coach. It makes you a better manager, because the main part about any coaching or managing is building relationships. And, you know, that's what I'm hoping that we're doing here. And we're building relationships, and we're communicating and talking to players and taking their feedback and putting it back into the game. We want that sense of responsibility for them to have a voice in everything we're doing, because, I mean, you know, from playing and conversations we've had, you're playing the game. You know what you're doing. You know what you're seeing. And we need that. We can get information. We can watch stuff on video, but we're not on the field. So we have to make sure that we have those conversations going back to, you know, like you and I did for a number of years, and with any player. So the most important thing for me personally as a manager is just building respect, building relationships.
What's in the water in Tampa Bay in terms of leadership? I mean, because, you look around, you said today Charlie Montoya is going to be here with the Blue Jays. We were at the Twins camp, and Rocco Baldelli used to be there as well. Kevin Cash has done a tremendous job, and now you're getting your opportunity as well. What is going on down there, that science project that's unveiling these managers?
Well, I think number one, it's the organization in general, and kind of what they do is they let people have a voice. And there is a really good synergy in the Rays organization, leadership-wise. I think it started with Andrew. I think it starts with Stu Sternberg in terms of letting people communicate between the front office and the staff, going down to the players, and they let you be yourself. And that's something that's extremely important. And all those guys that were there, you talk about starting with Joe and being able to have conversations that the teams that Los and I were together on, they let you talk. They let you, have an opinion, and then they listen, and then they give you feedback. Very happy with my time in Tampa. You know, I live in that area, and I'm really happy for the guys that have gotten the opportunity to manage, and I think you're seeing the success that you're breeding from what they did in Tampa.
Shelly, you mentioned from the top, down to the players. How does that work? Because I think you have that perfect combination where you get a good understanding of the analytics, right, but then you're really good at communicating it, right, to the players. I mean, that's an art right there, an art form, and you take pride in that.
Yeah, very much so. And I think, going back to the question of Tampa was very good at that. We're very fortunate here with our group and Ben Cherington coming in. As you well know, there's a lot of information that comes into the game. We have to break down that information and give what's important to each guy. Going back to conversations that you and I had, you like specific things. Longo likes specific things. We have guys that like specific things. Our job, my job, the staff's job is to break it down and say, okay, this is going to fit for you. There's a lot of information. We don't use it all, but we have to use what's right.
Yeah. What are you going to do here to surprise people, because expectations aren't necessarily high for your ball club? How do you think your ball club's going to perform in 2020?
I think we're going to perform better than people think. And, what outside people think really doesn't worry me. What we think internally, the thing that is the best about this group is how tight-knit they are. They've come through an organization together. When you're around them, they have a good feel about them. And that's something I didn't know. When you talk to guys on the phone and you text with them, you don't feel that. But once you get around them and you start to do, Pirates Fest, and you start to do the caravan, and you see them kind of interact with each other, and then you see them the first 10 days of spring training, and they're together, and you watch them go through a bunt defense or a PFP, and they're in it together, that's a good sign. So what people think externally, I'm not really concerned about. I'm concerned about what we think, with our group.
When this guy starts making money off placata, you should get a cut. I mean, you were the guy's hitting coach. You at least deserve,
he was in the trenches with me. He was in the trenches with me. A lot of time, but I told him he's had that pretty face made.
I know, right?
Some of us guys go on to coach and manage and get gray, but I mean, this is a guy that's made for it.
It's unbelievable.
He hit some really far homers.
Yeah, no doubt. Derek, thanks for spending some time with us. Best of luck to you this year.
You're too generous.
My man.